journey so far in Abia State, 32 years ago, do you think the state is where it's supposed to be in terms of development, infrastructures, opportunities, and jobs?
No, the state is not anywhere close to where it needs to be, both on its potential, both on its standards, and both business and job creation, even on development. We had hoped and expected that Abia would have been far exceeding what it is today from where it is. So, but no, we're not anywhere close to our potential.
Abia State, God's own state. It's expected that we're supposed to like be the number one in everything. Since we're number one on the states and capital, then definitely we should be number one in everything. But with the way things are right now in the state, how long, statistically, how long do you think is going to take to set the economy right for Abia State to start moving as it should and as it should be?
It depends on planning. But first thing first, there needs to be a plan in place. We're coming out of the big hole. But if we're serious, within 2 years of this new administration, we should start seeing the directions and seeing the changes within 2 years of the new administration.
So there's a critical and proper plan in place.
Yes.
2 years is enough to set things right in a business.
No, I didn't say set things right. I said set things in motion towards the part of how you know how you want to take a test, and when you've studied to a certain level, you start to feel good about the test you're going to take, because you know that there's no way, based on the knowledge you have, you may not have an A, but you know you're not going to fail the test. So within 2 years, we should see, with proper planning, we should see Abia moving in the right direction.
You said we're coming out from a hole. What hole is that?
We're coming out of a hole of political hole, development hole, governorship hole, leadership hole, whereby Abia was just left fallow without good direction and good directives. So it's a big vacuum for the new governor to fill, and it's not an impossible task, and it's one I know, again, with proper planning, within 2 years, Abians as Abia people living in Abia will be able to start feeling the changes of the new direction.
I help Abia State here for a second. Can you pinpoint basically some of the most important things that they should do? Because a few days from now is going to be 100 days in office of all the newly elected officers, and we want to believe that if in the next 2 years these things are going to be done and set right and rolling in motion, like you said, what exactly are those things that they should do that will get us where we're supposed to be?
From my past interviews, I've always said don't expect much from the 100 days in office. Not to say that the governor should not perform and produce something within 100 days, but don't expect much, because when you're coming from a place of hole, a vacuum, a leadership vacuum, it takes a lot of hard work for you to get to where you need to be. So 100 days in office, I don't expect us to have something, a lot of things, but I expect after 6 months to start to see direction, and then after 2 years to start to believe in that direction. So how we have done it, my belief again is we need to find a way to increase our internally generated revenue. This is key for us. Unlike federal government, who have access to natural resources, they can borrow till their kingdom come. The states do not have that leverage because we do not own the natural resources within our states. It is allocated to the federal powers. So one of the things we need to do is to increase our internally generated revenue. Now, we're not going to do that by continuously taxing our people or overtaxing our people. We're going to do that by investing in our people and then reap the reward. How do we invest? It's been my take that Aba is a critical section in the development of Abia. We get Abia right, we can increase infrastructure, we can increase internal generated revenue from roughly about 1.2 billion to about 4 to 5 or 6 billion monthly. Once we do that, then pretty much the sky is the limit for a lot of things. Today, the allocation in Abia has probably moved from somewhere around 3 to 4 billion to about 6 to 7 billion. So with the collapse of the exchange rate, the bottom line has drastically increased to almost close to double of what it used to be. So with this, I expect the new administration to see a very good direction within the first 2 years of being in office.
Nigerians are resilient people, and so are Abians, especially with the recent happenings so far, from the insecurities, everything that's been happening in the East so far. And you've already stated that 100 days in office is too early. What is your message for Abians? Because already people are getting impatient because of where we come from. It's not their fault anyway, because things have been going bad for a very long time. So they are craving for change.
Mm-hmm.
What is your message for Abians?
Message for Abians is just have patience. This problem was not created by this administration, but this administration has a lot of patience, a lot of hope but from Abians on them. Hope of a better Abia, hope of a better infrastructure, hope for a better education, hope for a better development. So this governor today has a lot of hope that has been placed on his table. And I would ask Abians to give him some time to be able to set the motion and bring Abia to the right direction. Again, 100 days is not enough, given where we are. 6 months is a good timing for us to show direction and capacity. 2 years. Anything that has not been done in 2 years, forget it. The person is not out to work. That's my message to Abians.
Looking at the current government in Abia State, do you think they are geared towards the right direction?
Following everything so far, I've not seen a lot of pronunciation as to directions of policies and business and things of that nature. The only thing I've seen publicly that's been made so public is the issue of security, where we saw that the governor gave out a lot of vehicle to curb the security issues in Abia. So, but right now, that's the only major thing that I know that's out there. On economic policies, infrastructural policies, I've not really heard of much. I know there are some roads that are being constructed, but on the policy level, I've not heard of anything much except on the security level. So we'll see. Like I said, let's give it 6 months. By the end of this year, a lot of things should have actually come out. When I mean 6 months, I mean you have your plan. This is what we want to achieve. These are the goals we want to do. And there's another key thing, very key thing that I will also want to advise the Abia government. Publishing of financial accounts, very important. It's important for Abians to know how much is coming in and how the money is being used. This was something that was practiced in all states during the 1999 administration. From 1999 to about 2007, most of the governors, if not above 90% of the governors, did month-to-month publications of their audited accounts, both for local government and all that. And also, the local government should also have an accounting to show that the monies that are coming in from the federal government is not being tampered with. It's going straight to the state government, to the local government. So it goes a lot to show the integrity of leadership, having an accounting accounts at the end of every month. This is what we received. This is what we paid. Salaries was paid. This education. This, that. It gives a good reputation for the government.
Good reputation, integrity, and all of that, and being held accountable. But is this constitutional? Like, is in the constitution? Is it acceptable for public records, to financial records, to be out for everyone to see?
Yes, it is not. Like I told you, the 1999 administration did it. But I don't think it was constitutional, but it was required by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo,
For transparency.
for transparency.
Okay.
But I don't think it's part of the constitution. But what I'm saying is that when he that goes to equity must come with free hand, clean hands. When the governor is expecting people to give him time, patience, and tolerance, it's important to also show that the transparency that will make them have that patience and towards the government to give time for the development to happen.